Have you ever felt that, deep in your heart, there is a space where you are already complete, where you are already love? Ram Dass invites us right there. In that intimate and vast place, silent and radiant, where consciousness meets compassion and love no longer needs a reason. Born Richard Alpert, a Harvard psychology professor and collaborator with the famous Timothy Leary in the experiments with psilocybin, Ram Dass was a man of the mind. But the mind, however brilliant, could not quench that thirst that only the spirit can satiate. His journey changed radically in 1967 when, moved by an existential crisis and a burning desire to understand the essence of the human experience, he left for India. There he met his guru, Neem Karoli Baba, who gave him a new name, Ram Dass, servant of God. From that moment, his life became a bridge between East and West, between mind and heart, between spirituality and social commitment. His most famous book, Be Here Now, published in 1971, became the spiritual Bible of an entire generation. It did not offer dogmas, but lived experience. It did not promise future salvation, but radical presence in the present. Ram Dass taught us that loving unconditionally is not just a nice spiritual idea, it is a daily practice, a revolutionary act that dissolves the walls of the ego. Love that asks for nothing. For Ram Dass, loving without expectations was the most direct path to the divine. Love, he said, does not need to be reciprocated. True love is seeing God in the other, even when the other does not see him in himself. It is this mystical vision that transforms relationship into meditation, compassion into a form of living prayer. He invited us to look into the eyes of another human being and say to ourselves, I see you, and what I see is love. Without needing to change it, without wanting to improve it or fix it. Just recognize the soul that shines, even when the personality is full of shadows. Psychedelic experiences and transcendence. Ram Dass never denied his past with psychedelics. He recognized them as doorways, but not as the destination. Altered states, he said, can offer a glimpse of divine reality, but it is the discipline of the heart that makes it stable and habitable. One of his strongest insights was that the mystical experience does not have to be extraordinary. It can happen in washing dishes, in sitting next to a dying person, in walking in the woods. What matters is total presence and the willingness to surrender. For him, God was in suffering, in joy, in sick bodies, and in those full of energy. Everything was inclusive. Everything was love. The body as a service vehicle. In 1997, Ram Dass suffered a massive stroke that left him partially paralyzed and unable to speak. Many might have interpreted this event as a setback. But he called it my new guru, because it forced him to go even deeper into the vulnerability of the present moment. His now fragile body became an even purer temple for his soul. His smile, slow but full, became a silent prayer that touched everyone who met him. I am love, he said, with words slurred by fatigue, but with a gaze as clear as a high mountain lake. A deep-rooted and tender spirituality. Ram Dass did not take refuge in abstract mysticism. His spirituality was compassion in action. He founded several organizations, including the Seva Foundation, to bring eye care to developing countries, and the Hanuman Foundation, which focused on inner growth and social service. He said, to serve others is to serve God. And to serve God is the only true purpose of life. This does not mean giving up on yourself. On the contrary, it means discovering that the true self is universal, that the greatest joy is giving, and that every human being has a unique kind of spiritual genius within him or herself. The living legacy. Ram Dass died in 2019, but his voice, warm, ironic, full of sweet wisdom, still lives in every corner of those who listen to him. His teachings continue to flourish in hearts, meditation groups, spiritual communities that see tenderness and truth as the keys to evolution. Be here now is more relevant today than ever. In a fast-paced, hyper-connected, yet spiritually starved world, Ram Dass reminds us that simplicity of being is the secret. That there is no need to become anything else. Just to remember who we are. Treat everyone like God in a costume. And treat yourself like the essence. This video is a love dedication to those who seek an embodied, gentle and radical spirituality. Ram Dass has opened roads, but more than that, he has opened hearts. Be here. Now. And love. Love without reason, without conditions, without end.